Hi guys, it's Lucas from the future here. You guys are probably going to be wondering a little bit later on in this video why is the video so zoomed in. It is because for some odd what reason, Video Shop decided to have my whole entire subscribe logo there the whole entire time during the whole entire video and disturb the whole entire video, and you won't be able to see anything. So you'll just have to deal with this camera angle. Unfortunately, I would much rather prefer this one than the other one, because it would feel like, oh, I'm forcing people to subscribe or whatever, and I don't want that. And also, it just did not look good. It blocked everything. So I'm going with this camera angle today instead, which it sucks. And the thing that sucks even more is I could have edited it, but I accidentally deleted the video, so I could only download it off of YouTube, which I already posted on YouTube earlier. So if that makes sense. But hopefully y'all still enjoy my epic rant. Yeah. What is going on to all my Autobots out there? It is your boy, your man, Stooksy Camo. Back at it with another review, and today we are going to be reviewing Transformers Age of Extinction. If you guys have missed the past few videos, I'm doing a review series building up to Transformers 1, reviewing each of the Transformers movie from the 80s movie, the Michael Bay-verse movies, and then also Bumblebee as well. And if you guys are wondering why I didn't say Transformers Rise of the Beast, it is because I already reviewed that a while back on the channel. So if you want to check that out, be sure to check that out as well. And I'll add that to the playlist a little bit later on. And, but before we get to the actual beginning of the video itself, guys, let's get, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, it also maybe help with the YouTube algorithm, recommend the video to more people, maybe they could join that chat. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on Transformers Age of Extinction down below. But with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. And before we get right into it, let's give a quick plot synopsis, shall we? So transition and choose them out.
After an epic battle, a great city lies in ruins, but the Earth itself is saved. As humanity begins to pick up the pieces, a shadowy group emerges to try to take control of history. Meanwhile, an ancient and powerful new menace sets its sights on Earth. A new group of humans led by Cade Yeager helps Optimus Prime and the Autobots rise up to meet their most fearsome challenge yet, a worldwide war of good versus evil.
Alright, so Transformers Age of Extinction is the fourth movie in the Michael Bay verse, and it came out 2014, 2015, I forgot which year it came out, but this one is basically different from the original trilogy Michael Bay did. It did not have Sam reprise his role played by Shia LaBeouf. Instead, we introduced a new character in here named Yeager, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name, played by Mark Wahlberg. So, and they create some new characters for a supposed new trilogy. And this was the Transformers movie that made the most amount of money at the box office. I believe it crossed $1 billion at the box office. And, yeah, with that being said, guys, let's get right into the actual review itself. Yeah. This movie sucks. But before we get into why it sucks, let's shed some positivity on the subject, alright? So starting off with the good, I only have one. I just realized that. Besides everything else, I do think this probably has one of the better live-action villains out of the Transformers franchise, that being
Lockdown. The movie does do a good job of building him up as this big threat, until he eventually doesn't appear as a big threat.
So yeah, pretty much that's it for the positives. Now let's move on to the mixed aspects, and I have the CGI. CGI in here is still decent most of the time, but there's some spots in here where it does not look good at all. Now we move on to the bad and why this movie is so crap. First bad I have, the length. So remember how I kept on complaining the whole entire time, the last few movie reviews of the Transformers franchise, except for the 1980s movie, going, oh man, these are too long. This movie blows it out of the water. This is 3 hours long. And it is so... That leads to my next negative. It's so boring during those 3 hours. This is the most boring Transformers movie. And it's just, when it has such a long length time, I was just counting the numbers. Oh, come on, tell me when this is gonna end. And then, another bad, the story points in here. Most importantly, the boyfriend angle they have in here, where Mark Wahlberg is a father, where he's an inventor, he has a daughter that's about to go to college, and he says, oh, don't date any boys, and she secretly has a boyfriend right behind her father's back, and there's supposed suggestions that their relationship is a little inappropriate because she's a minor, but they still love each other anyways, which who gives a crap about that relationship in the first place? And overall, that plot point was just stupid. Another bad, most of the acting. I will give some credit. Some acting in here is okay, but it's not anywhere near one of the actor's best work. Most importantly, probably Mark Wahlberg. He acts fine in here, but this isn't his best performance yet. Not even close. Then, and also Stanley Tucci does pretty decent in here, but all the other acting I did not care for, especially Mark Wahlberg's daughter. I did not think she did real good in the movie at all. Another bad, it kind of ties in with what I said earlier with the acting. The characters. I don't care about a single one of these characters except for the Autobots, even though they're not real people or physically there. All the other characters, I could give a flying crap about. Especially about the girlfriend, boyfriend. I did not care about that. Another one. The dialogue. The dialogue in here. If you thought the dialogue in some of the other movies were bad, you haven't seen nothing yet. The dialogue in here is dreadful. And it mostly comes from Mark Wahlberg, to be honest. They mostly make Mark Wahlberg say all the worst dialogue. And it's just, man, why? You have your best performance in the movie, which is in a high bar, spitting out the worst dialogue. That is just... Another one, the comedy. This movie there might be, I will give one exception.
There's an instance at the opening at the farm with the lady and Mark Wahlberg that I thought was funny. But
besides that, none of it was funny. None of it was funny. It did not even make me laugh at all. Another one, DJ Khaled helped me out.
Another one.
How it unceremonious, and I'm gonna talk about this. If you guys do not want a spoiler for this movie, which I don't recommend you check this movie out, probably skip past like a minute. How it unceremoniously kills off Ratchet, which as a kid, Ratchet was my favorite out of the bunch. And this one, while rewatching the franchise, I've started to like, of course, Bumblebee and Optimus a little bit more. And I did like them originally too. But this one, they just unceremoniously kill him off because they have nothing to do with them. And then they bring him back later on in the movie, but not actually in full form. They make him this little statue or whatever whatever's left of his dead corpse, and they're trying to create something with it, and it's just, Why would you do that to Ratchet? He could have been a big part of this movie because he was in a big part of that original trilogy. And then they just, whoop, let's kill him off. Wow. I'm sweating now because I've been, okay, anyways. And then another bad, it doesn't follow up the original trilogy at all. I don't think it mentions pretty much, maybe there's one mention of mentioning the older movies with Sam. But everything else, they do not follow up with at all. And they could have easily, because this came out during the time, I'm pretty sure, before Shia LaBeouf became Shia LaBeouf and was kind of a whack job for a while. I don't understand why they could have just asked him to come back on and say, hey, want to do another movie with us and we'll write a better script for you to do this? And they do not do that at all! Okay, I yelled. Alright, that is all the bad done. That is everything I have to say about this movie. Even with the only exception of Lockdown being somewhat of a cool villain and one of the better Transformers live-action villains. Still, let's bring out the toxic meter. And this is Toxic Trash! A.K.A. a F. And I do not like this movie whatsoever, besides Lockdown as the villain. And this is the worst movie out of the franchise, 100%. And if we have any Transformers movies that come out later down the line that are worse than this, that's gonna be another new low for the franchise, because arguably this and the next movie they didn't recover from until they didn't recover from and they just basically decided to reboot the franchise with Bumblebee. So, with that being said, guys, that is my review / rant of Transformers Age of Extinction. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. And maybe am I in the minority that didn't like this movie? Let me know. And with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody.
You're not gonna help me out here.
Autobots, roll out.